thought you had your jaw broken into pieces. What is it? And you're perfectly, there's no swelling, there's nothing. How's that healing coming along?
Yeah, I got 4 plates in my jaw, but that's part of the sport, and the healing process has been a little bit tough. I'm a little bit tired. It's hard to sleep. I go onto the pillow and then my jaw twerks up to the left and I wake up. But it's all part of the sport, and it was an amazing night, and I learned a lot, gained a lot of experience, and we're moving on to more fights.
Logan Paul is speaking out at last, and this time the tone has changed. After staying quiet since his devastating bout with Anthony Joshua, he's now opened up following a serious jaw operation. Jake confirmed that the procedure resulted in 2 metal plates being permanently placed in his face. That revelation has shifted the discussion in a major way. This situation is no longer just about a loss inside the ring. It's about whether he'll ever be able to compete at the same level again. Jake explained that the operation wasn't optional. The injuries he suffered during the fight were legitimate, intense, and much more serious than most people originally realized.
Your drive for
but
competition.
Yeah.
He's also nuts, right? Just the fact that he's willing to fight the 2-time heavyweight champion, former Olympic gold medalist.
Yeah.
A guy who's gigantic in his prime, built like a Greek god.
Yeah.
And you're going to stand, and he's a one-punch killer. And you're going to stand in front of that guy, and he avoided shots till the 6th round. He just started getting tired.
Yeah, his movement in that fight was crazy.
It was very good.
Yeah.
It was very good.
He was really keeping him moving around the whole ring, and then
you can't afford to get tired. That's the thing, is like he gets tired in a lot of his fights in the later rounds. You should really sort that out, because if he had a much bigger gas tank, like if he was training with like some of these elite world-class strength and conditioning coaches and just worked on his cardio, he'd be beating way more guys.
You think so?
Yeah. 100%. But it's like what he's doing is learning how to box, and he's boxing and he's training hard for sure. But to get that world-class gas tank, you need like a Sam Calavita, you need like a Nick Curson, you need like these plyometrics experts that who got heart rate monitors on you, and they're checking when your recovery is ready and go.
Yeah.
And you're fucking yeah. You need guys monitoring your recovery, monitoring your heart rate variability, your VO2 max.
I couldn't believe it.
I don't know, and maybe he is, maybe I'm wrong, maybe he is doing that, but whatever it is, it's not.
His teeth look a bit removed as well.
Yeah, his teeth have come out of place. But credit to him, he done well. But I told him what was going to happen, but it just took 6 rounds to do that.
People will criticise you for going 6 rounds with Jake Paul. How do you feel about that?
I deserve it.
Why?
Balls ever to step in a boxing ring in their life. He stepped in a boxing ring with one of the baddest men on the planet, who's 40 pounds heavier than him and 6 inches taller. That's insane. He's one of the most skilled fighters on the planet. My brother, as a fucking YouTuber, went 6 rounds with him in a fight with a broken jaw and rolled ankle. I'm so proud of him. That was just unbelievable.
I saw you talking crap to AJ at one point.
I was trying to get his head. I think I pissed him off. I was just saying that shit. I love AJ.
Yeah.
But bro,
I saw you going on
I was talking so much. But I just pissed him off. Then he broke my brother's jaw. Fuck this guy.
Broke his jaw, huh?
Yeah, his jaw is fucked. You know? He don't care though. Jake's having a fucking blast.
Yeah. We'll see him back again for sure?
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you, Logan.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate you, brother.
His injuries were extensive: a fractured jaw, damaged teeth, and surgical hardware added to hold everything together. Even though he maintains that a return is inevitable, skepticism has taken over the boxing community, and fans aren't buying it either. When someone absorbs trauma at that level, it alters everything. Self-belief shifts. Natural reactions aren't the same. The readiness to stay close and trade punches starts to disappear.
I mean, anyone who questioned whether or not you had a chin, I think the answer to that question was proven last night. Bro, you can take a shot. Anthony Joshua hits you with probably his hardest shot that we've seen drop every other single fighter that he's fought.
Yeah.
And he hit you in the face, and not only did you not get knocked out, you dropped and said, wow.
I was like, wow, that was nice. I was on the ground, I was like, that was a good shot.
Dude, did he surprise you with his power?
No, to be honest, no, but I mean, he surprised my jaw. It's literally snapped, bro. It's literally snapped.
Dude, when
completely snapped.
After the fight, you were like, I think like one of my teeth is, and you open your mouth, and I was the first to see it. I went, oh, you broke
your jaw.
dude.
He if it is a broken jaw, those injuries are very difficult to come back from. But as AJ said, like that last shot would have knocked out a lot of heavyweights. And I know he went down heavy, but you know, he was conscious on the floor. And I thought his game plan, although obviously very negative early on, which it had to be, was smart at times. And there were times where he held his feet and let his hands go. You know, it was a very one-sided fight. It was always going to be a one-sided fight, but you can't give him anything but credit and respect. There's a lot of negative people out there. There's a lot of people who want to criticize people. They're not doing what Jake Paul's done. He just went in with Anthony Joshua and gave it his best shot, took a lot of punishment and ended the fight eventually on his feet after the stoppage. So, you know, I think he'll have to see physically how that jaw, I don't know the severity of it. It's a very difficult injury to come back from, but he showed he's got ability, and that's what we said. You know, he's dedicated to the game.
Is it fixed? Are any of these fights prearranged? Are they fixed at all? Is there any discussion about, hey, you take an L, you're going to go down here? Because everybody says, oh, you held fucking Mayweather up. Mayweather held your brother up.
It's bullshit. I don't know about anything else in the fight. I'm talking about my fights. I can't speak to anyone else's fights, but also highly illegal. Like, you go to prison for the rest of your life type shit.
Well, with the Ben Askren fight, you know, I actually believed you would have beaten Ben Askren. I just, like, he didn't look in shape or at all. But I feel like, in my opinion, it was kind of fixed on how early you knocked him out. Like, I don't know. That's just...
People think the Mike Tyson fight's rigged. And you think Anderson Silva's going to lose. You think Woodley's going to take a fall. You guys, you know these guys.
Yeah, no, I didn't think Anderson would take a fall. But I ain't gonna lie, I hate that you knocking out MMA fighters.
And I understand that, but just say that. You don't got to say like, oh, bro, he's on steroids and shit. Come on. It's a federal crime. It's illegal. Like,
hey, he made a good point. He said it is illegal to fix fights. It is. Because people be betting on that shit.
And bro, people think I'm like a multi-billionaire. They think I'm a billionaire and like, oh, he paid somebody $40-50 million to take a fall like that, bro. I don't have that type of money laying around to throw at people.
Hey, I'm sorry to have to ask you this, but I know you probably signed NDA, but blink twice if that Jake Paul fight was set up.
Blink twice.
I know you probably.
I don't never blink because I got these liberty eyes. I don't need much air, you know what I mean, to keep them open. A lot of people wonder that, but think about this. If I say, Rampage, I'm gonna pay you $2 million, right? That this dude beat you, what you gonna do? You gonna feel disrespected, number one.
Yeah.
All right, that ain't enough money.
Yeah.
But I got paid in the Jake fights. For me to do that, I gotta be willing to walk away for good, and they gotta set me up for a while, at least not for life, but something like 20-something million where I can invest it and fall off in the shade, because that's what you would have to do. Would I do something like that? You would have to know me to know I'm too solid of a guy to even have somebody walk to me and ask me.
Yeah.
What happened to me is what was going to happen to him had he dropped those hands. Before we fought, I said, hey, you can knock me out and I can knock you out.
For someone like Jake Paul, style is built on forward pressure, durability, and unwavering self-confidence. That psychological change may end up being the toughest fight he's ever faced. He acknowledged that stepping in with Joshua was a wake-up call. Jake admitted he misjudged the risk of going up against a full-sized heavyweight capable of ending a fight with one punch. He also said the experience showed him what top-level boxing truly involves on the price that comes with it. Where the debate heats up, does he return by challenging another high-profile opponent to make a statement? Or does he take a quieter path back by choosing a matchup that's safer and better suited to his style?
I was on board for the whole experiment. And when that started, what that was going to be was celebrity boxing. But then he came out with the competitive side. I want a shot to be world champion. I want in there with Canelo. I'll step in there with Joshua. And you had this segment of the population that for whatever reason was not willing to concede that he was working hard, that he had big goals, and that he was secretly a tough guy. All options are on the table. Boxing, most obvious. But he's always had some ideas about MMA. And I think a walk against Anthony Joshua, broken jaw, and the respect of people that actually know what they're looking at. But I think all options are on the table for Jake Paul, including
a game. Fighting is not something you pick up and mess around with, right? If you're a fighter, if you're a boxer, if you're a mixed martial artist, right, you have to take this seriously and you have to respect the game. That's why when he fought Anthony Joshua, I scoffed at it. I talked a little bit of because of the lunacy. And I said, someone's going to end up dead. Someone can die. 10 to 13 boxers die per year. It is not a game. Now, of course, the man wants to make money and he wants to box people and he wants to entertain his fans and thrill audiences. And that's great. And God bless him. Fair play to him. The man is very, very successful. I've never talked about that. I've only talked about a 58-year-old Mike Tyson, or fighting retired, semi-retired UFC legends and then talking about them, right? All I've ever said is box someone your own age and size. And then this thing with Anthony Joshua, I was like, this is crazy. Now let's talk about the actual fight for a second. It happened in the 6th round, and it happened in a 22-foot ring. A typical ring is 20 foot. This one was 22 foot because he wanted a bigger room to operate, a bigger space, a bigger ring, somewhere to run away and be on his bike and stay away from Anthony Joshua. Now, I don't blame the guy. I'd have done the same thing, right? Because Anthony Joshua is gigantic and has the kind of power that could potentially do that to you, right? Maybe it's real, maybe it's AI, right? Either way, his face is going to be swollen today. That's a fact, right? The bigger ring gives you more space. Jake Paul did about 5 miles of road work, shot about 25 double leg takedowns because he didn't want to stand there and go toe to toe with him like Francis Ngannou did, because he knows what would have happened, okay? And ultimately, it ended up happening anyway in the 6th round. And yeah, okay, he's going to have the street cred of standing there and say, I went 6 rounds with Joshua. He didn't go 6 rounds with Anthony Joshua. He ran around, he avoided the fight, and then ultimately got clipped, okay? They made $92 million each. Fair play. That is insane money, okay? And before you will start, there's no jealousy here, right? You can't be jealous of other men, but we're allowed as fighters to critique things like this, what we see, right? I've been in there, I've knocked people out, I've been knocked out, I commentate fights. This is my life. This is what I talk about. Now, on this post here, let's just have a look at this real quick. Whoever this person was is laughing, I think, and they're probably laughing because it's a fake post, it's AI. But the first person that responds is Andrew Tate, okay? 39 years old. Clearly, he got hoodwinked by the AI as well. Now, he says, why are you laughing at a man braver than you? And that is a great point, okay? And the reason that Andrew Tate said that is because he also fought on Saturday night. He stepped in the ring at Misfits in Dubai, went up against Chase Damore. And I gotta say,
you know, he never flatlined Jake. I mean, he did break his jaw in 2 places, which is a disaster, but there are a lot of heavyweights that would have been out cold from that right hand. I mean, one of them was Francis Ngannou in a pretty similar shot, really. Do you know what I mean? So I actually give Jake unbelievable credit for doing it in the first place, but his performance as well. I mean, I stand by the fact that I think he's just a decent cruiserweight, but like, he did go in with Anthony Joshua, and look, the world is full of criticism and opinions and negativity. Who else is doing what he's doing at what is he, late 20s? I mean, quite phenomenal. I mean, the guy's a complete madman. I'm watching him come out to that ring walk, and he's just an incredible entertainer. And I'm sort of standing in the ring going, is he for real? And he did all right. I mean, I know people will talk about the holding, but his job was to survive, and he survived for nearly 6 complete rounds.
By the way,
he's remarkable.
You just referred to him as a decent cruiserweight, so I'm wondering, has he officially graduated? We all remember that face-to-face many moons ago. I was in the middle, you called him an average fighter, right?
Yeah,
he was very
definitely
offended.
graduated.
Okay.
Yeah, I did say it before in the build-up to that fight. I said I used to think he was an average fighter. Now I just think he's a decent cruiserweight. In my opinion, nowhere near world-class, but how many are? I mean, you know, he's obviously got a really decent chin. Maybe not anymore, but he did have a decent chin, because the shots that he stood up to and the final shot, like he was conscious, he was trying to get up. Do you know what I mean? So I said before, like, he's dedicated himself to the sport. He's having serious training camps. He's got the best facilities. He's got the best training. He's got good sparring. So he's definitely improved. And, you know, it's probably a mixture of a little bit of rust from AJ, just, you know, and the fact...
There's no confusion, Hera. Jaw reinforced with metal isn't only a physical concern. It creates a mental hurdle as well. It's one solid punch, a split-second reminder of the trauma, or a reflex to retreat instead of counter. The entire game plan can fall apart. Because of that, some people close to the sport think this pushes Jake toward a more calculated approach. More strategic opponents reduce danger in fights where he can dictate the terms.